going to replace the code numbers.
Welcome to the, sorry Patrick, Canyon City Planning Commission regular meeting Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. I now call this meeting to order. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chairman, can you check to see if your microphone is on?
How about now?
That's perfect.
You want me to start over? I now call this meeting to order, Planning Commission regular meeting Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. Denise, please call roll.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chairman Maloney,
Here?
Commissioner Clark,
Here.
Commissioner Clement,
Here.
Commissioner Ledoux,
Here.
Commissioner Moss,
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
And do you want to announce about Paula Shagley?
Well, I can announce it here. Paula Shagley earlier this week submitted her resignation from Planning Commission. She's apparently going to be doing a lot of travel over the next few months and was worried that it wasn't fair to Planning Commission if she wasn't going to be here for all the meetings. So,
Well, we'll miss her.
yes.
That's everybody, right, Denise?
That's the full commission.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Agenda number 2, item 2, no special presentations. Item number 3, I now ask for approval in a second of the minutes from our June 24th, 2020 regular meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I make a move to approve the minutes from the June 23rd meeting.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Any discussion or corrections? Denise?
Who seconded that? Oh, okay.
Mr. Smith? Denise, please call roll.
Commissioner Clark,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Chairman Maloney,
Aye.
Commissioner Clement,
Aye.
Commissioner Ledoux,
Aye.
Commissioner Moss.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Item number 4, public hearings. 4A, appeals provision modification. An ordinance of the City of Canyon City amending various section of the Canyon City Municipal Code to clarify the appropriate appellate body for various administrative decisions provided for under the Canyon City Municipal Code. And Part 2, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Canyon City, Colorado, approving certain amendments to the subdivision regulations concerning the appeals process for site plans. Patrick, do you have a presentation?
So I will have some opening remarks, and then I'll hand over to our city attorney, Catherine Sellers. There's been a number of conversations with council about clarifying the appeals process to certain administrative decisions that the code has empowered the zoning administrator, which is provisionally the city administrator, but those responsibilities typically get delegated to the city planner. So that if there is an appeal, if a finding and a decision has been made that an applicant disagrees with, what is the appropriate appeals course of action? So what this is doing is saying, okay, for all zoning issues in Title 17, those will go to the Board of Adjustment. And then with the resolution in Part 2, site plans are not part of Title 17. They're actually part of the subdivision and development regulations in Title 16, which Planning Commission has purview over. So this is a resolution of the Planning Commission to clarify appeals for a site plan denial, for example, would also go to the Board of Adjustment. Catherine, did you have anything to answer or address on that as well?
No, Patrick pretty much covered it. This is obviously, as you can tell from the ordinance in front of you, a pretty substantial project to amend the code and readjust all the appellate bodies. But for purposes of the Planning Commission and changes to Title 17 and then the subdivision regulations, as Patrick mentioned, we're trying to there's a little cleanup, and then we're also trying to direct appeals to the Board of Adjustment where they're supposed to go. We've also cleaned up and made more simple the process to actually make an appeal. We had a very formal process that I advocated just wasn't necessary. It was too formal for a layperson. It was more of an attorney-oriented process. And so we've kind of made that a little bit easier for an appellate or an appellee to actually submit an appeal to the city. But other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions regarding these changes.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions for staff? None? Okay.
So,
Do you have
Mr.
anything to
Chairman,
add?
we will need two motions, one for the ordinance, one for the resolution, if it is your goal to approve it.
Okay. So at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the ordinance amending the sections. And a second, please.
I can make the motion, Chairman. I move the Planning Commission recommends City Council approve the ordinance amending various sections of the municipal code to clarify the appeals process for various administrative decisions.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Denise is gone.
Can we call our own row?
I can call roll.
Patrick, will you please call roll?
Chairman Maloney,
Aye?
Commissioner Clark,
Aye.
Commissioner Clement,
Aye.
Commissioner Ledoux,
Aye.
Commissioner Maz,
Aye.
and Commissioner Smith.
Aye.
Motion passes
Okay.
unanimously.
Motion passes. I now call for a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2, series of 2020.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion. I move that the Planning Commission approve Resolution 2, Series of 2020, excuse me, amending the appeals process for site plans.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Commissioner Moss, seconded. Any further discussion? Patrick, will you please call roll?
Chairman Maloney,
Aye?
Commissioner Clark,
Aye.
Commissioner Clement,
Aye.
Commissioner Ledoux,
Aye.
Commissioner Maz,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 4B, sign contractor licensing modification. An ordinance of the City of Canyon City repealing section 17.30.100 and .110B of the Canyon City Municipal Code concerning sign contractor licensing. Patrick, do you have a report for us?
Certainly. So earlier this year, I believe this was the March or April timeframe, there was an amendment to certain processes in Title V of the Municipal Code. This is the section that's dealing principally with the city clerk's responsibilities as it pertained to contractors' licenses for people who install signs, do work for signs. In the city, they're known as the outdoor advertising licenses. And those were removed from the clerk's responsibilities and put into the responsibility of the chief building official under the logic that the building official already licenses contractors for all other kinds of disciplines when it comes to building. So she already has a system that's set up and in place for processing those licenses, sending out renewal notices when the time came. We discovered earlier, a couple of weeks ago, in fact, that there is a portion of Title 17 pertaining to signs that, as written, still directed people to obtain those outdoor advertising licenses through the city clerk's office, and there was, in fact, a specific fee that had been changed earlier this year with respect to those outdoor advertising licenses. So this is bringing Title 17 into conformance with the changes that were made earlier this year to Title V. Catherine, did you have anything to add to that?
No, we covered it all.
She's so effusive, isn't she?
It's like, something
She's staring at the clouds. Okay, so, well, first of all, do we have any questions from the commission for staff?
I guess I have one question. So basically, this is just eliminating a duplication.
It's correcting an oversight that got missed several months ago when we made all of those others, and it's making this portion of Title 17 pertaining to signs consistent with what was done earlier this year.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So there is still a license required
There
by a
is still
contractor
contractor's
to install a
licenses
sign.
required. We have moved those obligations over to the clerk's office, and the fee for this, I think, is different than, I believe, the $100 that was mentioned in
So
this section.
it's no longer with the building department, it's now with the clerk's office?
No, it's no longer with the clerk's office, it's now with the building department.
Okay, okay. Okay. I'm not in the sign business, so,
Because it's part of Title 17, it must go through Planning Commission as an advisory body before it goes to council.
okay. Any other questions? So we need a motion and a second to approve the ordinance, correct, Patrick?
Correct.
Okay. I'm asking for a motion and a second to approve the ordinance repealing section 17.30.100 and .110B.
I can do that.
Commissioner Smith?
I move the Planning Commission recommends City Council approve the ordinance repealing 2 sections of Chapter 17.30 concerning sign contractor licensing.
Second?
Second it.
Commissioner Moss, seconded. I'm guessing there's no further discussion. Denise? Please call roll.
Certainly. Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Moss?
Aye.
Chairman Maloney?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Clement?
Aye.
Commissioner Leduc?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. That's it for our agenda. On to the last item.
We do have one announcement.
Okay.
House-Seal Levine is going to be presenting to a joint Planning Commission City Council meeting their findings from their existing conditions analysis of Canyon City, as well as revealing what they have learned from the public outreach. And if you weren't aware, last week was a big public outreach. We had lots of stakeholder meetings and interviews. We had a presentation, a workshop with the FEDC, and then there was the community visioning workshop that happened last Wednesday evening that was also live streamed on the city's Facebook page. So we got some very valuable feedback. They will be documenting all of that. They're also, and this will interest Catherine, I think, they're also going to be providing us with an initial assessment of a diagnostic of the city's zoning, subdivision, and development regulations. And I know that's something that the city attorney's office is obviously very interested in reviewing as well. So that will, the date that we are setting for that is going to be Wednesday, October 14th. We will be sending out invitations, but I just wanted to make an announcement so that we all could save the date.
Patrick?
What's the time on that one?
I believe it's going to be a 6 p.m. start.
Okay.
It's going to take the place of what would otherwise have been, I think, a council study session.
General government.
I think so. I think general government is being moved back a week, and that's when the
Okay.
budget public hearing is going to happen.
All right, that sounds like fun.
I had one quick question on it. Will they be talking about the interactive map that they've been asking the public to be a part of, I guess?
Yes, and in fact, as of Tuesday morning, the survey on the Picture Canyon City 2040 website had 367 people complete the survey. There have been, I think, 27 people who've added to the social map on the website, and I think there's something like 81 comments or pictures that have been posted.
I'm one of them. I gave a nice little bike trail.
Good, good. And if you have not gone to the Picture Canyon City 2040 website, all of the documents, the slide presentation from what was presented to the community visioning workshop was up there. It was a very cool app that they had where in real time, if you had the app loaded on your phone, you could vote on your preference, and instantly the results from the audience were tabulated, and as the votes came in, everything began shifting up and down. So the final votes as to what came in are shown as part of that slideshow. They also have the recorded Facebook session from that you can watch if you're interested. Every document that's going to come out of this process is stockpiled on that website, so the public can go and review it anytime they want.
Fantastic. No, has everyone looked at it? Yeah. Anything else? Am I just the only humdrum one?
Yeah, everybody else is really excited.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, if there's nothing else, I guess we'll have a nice 15-minute meeting tonight, and we are adjourned.